You are listening to the It's Your Time podcast, and I'm your host, Certified Life Coach Michelle Arnold Burke. In today's episode, I'm discussing Sales 101. Welcome to the It's Your Time podcast, the podcast where busy professionals like you get the practical solutions and support you need to gain control of your schedule so you can strive to be the best in your career, but without the stress and overwhelm. If you're looking to increase your energy and decrease your stress, you are in the right place. Hello. Welcome back to the podcast, friends. How are you doing today? I'm feeling pretty good. We are having some really nice weather here in New York, and I have a lot of great thoughts about that. The sun, the warmth, so much fun, all of it. And I love when we get to this time of year where the things are blossoming and it's like another chance at fresh starts. So fun. Okay, so speaking of fun things, another thing that is fun and we are talking about today is selling. Now, don't jump off here if you think you are not into sales or sales is not for you. We are all in sales in some way or another in our lives. And this came up because I recently was watching some folks talking about what job they could never do. And someone said sales. And I was like, what is she talking about? She was actually a news commentator. Hello, the news is selling. You know how I know? Because I was a salesperson for news programs years ago. And the way you sell the news is through ratings. And you know how you get ratings? Usually by talking about, shall we say, not so many positive things that are going on in life, right? Our brain loves to gravitate towards the negativity, and that is exactly what the news loves to serve us. Therefore, we are increasing the ratings when they are telling us the stories. And stories are often what sells all in our life, right? If you have kids and you want them to get ready or maybe eat some veggies, let's face it, you are selling them on the idea that, I don't know, the carrots make them see better or whatever you parents do out there. And I will say, I don't know too many folks that actually grow up saying that they want to be a salesperson when they grow up. In fact, I remember when I told a really good friend that I was starting in sales full time, and she was like, oh, you're going to be one of those maggots. So a lot of folks have a lot of thoughts about selling, but the truth is selling changes lives. And I think of what I sell now, it 100% changes lives, both in my device sales job and my coaching. Both change lives, hands down, no questions. And we need people to sell in order to make a difference in this world. Now, how do you sell? Right? That is often what has others thinking about sales in certain ways. I like to take a look at what is your intention? And I've been thinking about this a lot lately because we have some new folks on our team, and I love to just see how everyone thinks about selling. There are all types of salespeople, right? You have relational, passive, closers, consultants, challengers, and of course, any combination of those. And of course, there are also other options. But where do you see yourself? I know when I work with clients who are looking to increase their sales, I first like to make sure we are clear on why. So you know your intention. Maybe you kind of have an idea of what type of salesperson you are, but what is your why? Why do you want to increase your sales? And you might initially say things like, because that's how I'm paid, or I need to, that is my job. But I want you to get curious. And listen, I am all about making money. I love to have lots of money in the hands of lots of good people because I know good things happen when good people have money. But past the money, let's get clear on why. And for you, that might look like you want to do something with your family and friends to be able to create memories or to be an example for your daughter or buy the lake house or the beach house. And it's important to know because there comes a time when money is not the only motivating factor. And you need to know why, at your core, you do it, so that when things start to get challenging, you keep going. Because it's important that you know that reason for you. Now, I also think a little differently when we're talking about the idea of competition. And for some of you, the competition might totally be your driver. But I will tell you, there are some folks, especially in the device industry, that can get, shall I say, on the edge, sometimes over the edge, of what might be considered ethical. And that is not my jam. I am in it for the long game. Think about that. Are you in it for the long game? Or are you just in it to be in it and to get out of it? I love to come from a servant's heart, knowing that I can make a difference. The thing is, people sometimes get so focused on taking a piece of the competitive pie. Listen, y'all, how big is that pie? I don't just want a piece of pie. I want a bigger pie. In fact, I want the orchard, right? Did you ever think that you might be missing the bigger picture when you are just going after a piece of the pie? Simon Sinek talks about this in his book, The Infinite Games. We are in a finite game. It's sales. We are judged monthly, quarterly, annually. It's finite. But you can come to the game with an infinite mindset. And if you are a pharma or a device rep, think about this in all of the ways that you show up daily. Like, what are you doing? You are changing someone's life. And that usually has a ripple effect into their families. And if you're a parent trying to get your kids to eat something or get ready for a game or a class, you are selling them usually because you want something that you think is good for them, something that will help them in some way. So how can you start looking at the bigger picture, at more possibilities, at what else could be out there? How can you start asking better questions around helping more people in your industry? And that, I promise you, will increase your sales numbers. Start asking better questions. Start being open to more possibilities. Stop being focused on just the small things from a scarcity mindset, because in those moments, you're missing so much more. Now, the place that I sometimes see the hardest sale is when I'm on a consult call. And I'll tell you, this is just one little piece of a much larger problem. And yes, I said it's a problem, because in a consult call, I'm selling you on you. And it's crazy how so many of us maybe don't believe that we can get the results we want in life. And we think things like, oh, I've tried it before and I haven't been able to, or I just can't seem to figure it out, or that other person can do it, but that's not for me, or I shouldn't spend the money on myself. And I want to let you know that I have enough belief in you that you can just borrow it for now. Not even on the consult call. I want you to think about how you are selling yourself on your life. Because I'm telling you, this work is life-changing. And you are here listening for a reason. So let's take a minute, and I want you to think about how you show up for a sale. If you are in sales, I want you to think about going into a big presentation. Maybe, again, you're selling your kids on something. What is your thought? Or you could even use, you just received your quarterly number. What do you think? This is everything. What you are thinking about what you are selling is everything. And I will tell you, in the past, regarding the numbers, I have had thoughts. Something along the lines of, I'm all by myself. I'm just going to have to keep this afloat. And guess what? My numbers stink when I think that. When I think we are going to make this number no matter what, guess what? My numbers are on point. So pay attention to what you tell yourself, not just about selling your product, but about selling yourself. The stories that you tell as you go through life, the stories you tell about your life. For example, when your kids don't eat the veggies, which, side note, I am not sure why I'm so into kids eating vegetables today, but whatever it is for you, as a parent or when you don't hit your sales number, what is the story you are telling yourself? How do you feel when you tell it? Because if you tell yourself something along the lines of, you're a terrible mom, you're not home enough, or you're not doing your job right, and you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed, how do you show up? Because the truth is, in that moment, you have a choice. You can notice your brain telling you that story and not believe it. Find all of the amazing things that you are doing in your life and remind yourself of that. Because when you're stressed and overwhelmed, thinking that you've done it wrong versus learning from each experience, you show up differently. Telling yourself you did the best that you could and next time you will do XYZ, it's a totally different relationship that you are building with yourself. So, how do you show up to sell yourself on the amazingness that is yourself and to yourself? I am not saying that you have to go out and sell yourself to the world right now. Let's start with selling yourself to you. For many years, we've been told that it is all of the external, right, that determines our happiness. And that is such BS. It's the way we think about our life. So think about it in a way that makes you love your life. And if you do that daily, you will hit the best goal ever, which is living the life of your dreams in a way that has you excel in your career, but without the stress and overwhelm. I am telling you, the stories you tell are you selling you on you. And it really is the best sale that you will ever have. And it is the sale that you will likely always be working on. I'm not sure that there is a finite end to this game we call life. And if you need help with it, I have 3 spots open, and I just opened more times for consult calls. So hop on my calendar, send me an email, let me know that you're interested. contact@michelleburkecoaching.com. Okay, friends, that's what I have for you today. Let's circle back next week, but for now, make it a great day. Take care. Did you know you can take this work to a deeper level with me one-on-one? Go to michelleburkecoaching.com and click on Get Started to begin.